Nashville was fun.
Nashville was a blast. I'm sure I will talk a little bit about it later, but
I mean, we're rolling.
we're rolling.
Yeah, we
So
are.
our Airbnb was pretty banging. I don't
Was
know
it?
how many of you guys saw our Airbnb. How
I
like
saw
either
it.
of you?
They had the lights like in the it was at the basement. They had like all the lights in the
Yeah.
game room and stuff.
Yeah, Matt, did you see our Airbnb?
No.
Okay, so our Airbnb, it was like up top, like out, and like it was like really nice, like mid-century modern, like total kind of white girl kind of thing. It was like really cool, like kind of 70s modernish.
Yeah.
Like just that vibe was really cool. Go downstairs, the vibe was maintained, but it was like in the basement, and it had like string lights and stuff. Very white girl, but it was pretty cool. In the corner was a skee ball machine.
Oh my god.
On the side of the room was
That's
a dartboard. In the middle of the room was a foosball table, and in the corner there was like a TV and like a couch and stuff. So we just played music on the TV and just if like at the end of the day to recharge, we played music on the TV and we just did whatever. It was a lot of fun. It was so cool. I'll get the link for you at some point. You can like take a look. It's actually like pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
And Nashville as a whole, ate a lot of good food, saw a lot of yeehaw stuff. Nashville, I'm pretty sure, is a bachelorette party driven economy city.
Yeah. That's what everybody basically says about Nashville.
It was bachelorette parties and, you know, women throwing all the booty they could muster. It was just little like trolleys of just that. Just
Oh my god.
all around town. Like we went to the Country Music Hall of Fame on Saturday. I mean, at least 10 of them just when we were walking downtown, like to get to where we needed to go, like to the car and back. Like just every 5 seconds you heard like a group of women yell very loudly. It was pretty funny. But I mean, it was cool. It was buzzing. It was good stuff. But I'll leave the race talk for when we start the show, which I think
that's about right now, right?
I think that's about right now.
Yeah.
That's about right now.
Well, folks, we know you loved us, and you definitely, hopefully, missed last week. This, of course, is the Fake Racers podcast. You probably didn't miss us. I don't know why you would. I'm Joe.
I'm Davey.
And that's...
I did it.
I'm Matthew. I didn't realize we
there.
were recording, so you just saw me chowing on Cheez-Its there to start the show.
That's okay.
That's okay. It's a totally real moment.
What the cold opens are for, right? We gotta be relatable.
It's real right now.
Gotta be relatable to
Yep.
the kids out there. But of course, folks, this is the Fake Racers podcast. So if this is your first time listening, I apologize for what you're about to hear.
Shut up. We're cool. We're cool. We're so
Yeah.
cool.
The
Are you
viewership
kidding
has
me?
been going up.
Yeah.
So that's it's
We're cool.
probably not because of us, Davey. Honestly, it's probably
It's all Matt.
I
It's all
mean,
Matt.
okay,
Nikita
yeah.
Truck Series bump. You know.
See, when you were like, it's not us, I thought it was like part of the collective us, and I'd be like, what else would it be? It's just the three of us, and then, all right,
For Dale, of course.
yeah. Mildly internet famous stop motion maker Dale June 88 rocks, obviously.
Yep. Exactly. Bristol is not here tonight, unfortunately. Because I'm going to Indy this week.
Phew.
Not here.
He's going to Indy.
I'm very lonely. Very sad.
No.
I miss my doggy.
Dude.
It was like immediately I walked in and I'm like, oh wait, that's right. I just dropped him off. And then I got sad. I missed him. But
My doggy.
anyways,
Oh my god.
Davey, you didn't miss any of the action in Nashville. You talked about it. It sounded like the atmosphere was pretty fun, pretty interesting. Were you down in that turn 1-2 chicane, or where were your seats actually?
We're gonna talk about this real quick.
Were you the grandstand that didn't get built?
I was general admission tickets were not guaranteed a seat, which I knew.
Yeah.
But like you would think like they were like, oh, there will be general admission viewing areas around the circuit. I'm like, okay, that's fine. There'll be something. No, it was just grass.
Yeah.
You just stood in the grass and hoped you could get a good spot.
Did you bring a chair?
Didn't look like it. Didn't see anyone with a chair. It wasn't great. I will say I kind of feel like I overpaid
for what you got.
For what I got. If I would have known, I would have just bought the 3-day ticket and just showed up on Sunday because I didn't like I. What's $40 more so I can actually sit in a seat and like my friends who aren't particularly motorsports fans, let alone IndyCar fans, they can actually sit down, enjoy themselves. It was super hot. Sun was beaten. It was kind of a long day. If you didn't have like a stand that was like on the other side of the racetrack, you had to park somewhere in downtown and walk across that bridge. That bridge was a rough walk. I mean, I was fine, like, whatever, but like they weren't expecting the long walk. They weren't seeing that coming. They weren't, like you would expect maybe like a couple extra places to sit
Right.
for the people who bought general admission tickets, which was a lot of people because there were like there were equal amounts people in the stands, equal amounts people hung on the fences. Like you would expect like something. Like I'm not asking for anything that great, but like I mean people were standing on grass trying to like get on like sewage cement topping things. Like everyone was like just kind of climbing for a place to go. And I felt really bad for my friends because it was hot and they were like chilling by the football stadium just in the shade, seeing what they could see, which wasn't a whole lot. And, I felt really bad for them.
I'm assuming the bridge you're talking about is like the pedestrian one they built that goes from Nissan Stadium to downtown or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's a little bit, it's like a little trek from the driving bridge that they drove on.
Yeah. I heard there were some logistical problems, which tends to be a common theme with like a city hosting a race for the first time. Like the same thing with Kentucky and NASCAR. But
traffic is one thing, but not having grandstands built is a different thing as a whole. And the any company, any place in the last year has really used the pandemic, and it's starting to become just an excuse to use.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, I think what their reasoning was their supplier was late on stuff, which, to be fair, sure, probably. But also, this is like, you should have planned to have this stuff months in advance.
Especially when they're calling it a marquee event.
Yeah.
That's NBC. I saw some people talking about like, well, if NBC hyped IndyCar races like this every week, look at how good the viewership is. Nashville is a name city right now, especially for younger folk, right?
Nashville's popping.
So it that definitely grabs people's attention, but also, like you said, that they built it up to be this marquee event. And let's talk about the racing, because I don't know if it was a marquee event in terms of racing. It seemed like everyone kind of struggled, especially with that. I thought the struggle was going to be with the section that was across the bridge, like in downtown. But it seemed like the real struggle was down by the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the race, and I was watching. Sorry, I just got a quick thing. I was watching the highlights earlier because I missed most of the race, and the impression I got from watching it was it was really claustrophobic on the track. Like it was really tight.
It was. You could visibly see how tight it was, just everywhere. Like I didn't have a seat guaranteed, so I kind of traveled everywhere that I could go. That was like front stretch. I walked on the front stretch, went over that bridge, went kind of in the infield around a little bit, went back over the bridge, walked all the way around, kind of saw like where they would get on and off the bridge. Got on the bridge and then they would get off the bridge like on the other side of the road kind of thing. Went over to like a braking zone further down the way. But everywhere was narrow. I mean, and going back to like, I know this, you said this wasn't necessarily a problem spot, but I mean, the drivers were still manhandling the cars on those bridge like transfers. I have a video of the cars when they're going back down the bridge, like they're, kind of hauling butt, 180, 190, whatever they're going, coming back down the bridge, coming into that like looser right, like the wider right. You could hear every single car when they went over that little like transfer section. You could hear every single one smack the ground. Every single one.
Jeez.
Bam, 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 bam. It sounded awful. You would think they're on the rev limiter. That's how like loud and like abrupt it was. But it was the bottom of the car smacking the track every time they went through there. It looked physical. It just that doesn't always provide for a very good race. Like hard to drive stuff doesn't always provide for a good race. We've talked about this a million times, but
I think the track being narrow though, that was my biggest gripe, because if you're going to go over the bridge, you're going to have that issue because transition from a bridge to any street anywhere in America is usually pretty rough, especially when, everyone has to be smacked on the ground to optimize downforce and minimize lift and blah, 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 all that stuff. That's like Belle Isle's pretty narrow, right? St. Pete is pretty narrow. These street courses are usually pretty narrow, but that was like Monaco levels of narrow. And Monaco isn't a good race because of the racing. It's a good race because of the prestige behind it.
Yeah.
Don't tell any F1 fans I said that. I'm assuming, but
no, most 99% of F1 fans will agree with you on that.
Non-delusional F1 fans know you're right.
Even ones who like it, be like Monaco qualifying is considered the race,
right?
Because it's like, you won pole, you're probably going to win.
And that's how this race was playing out with the cautions, right? Colton Herta qualified on pole, was the fastest guy all weekend long, had the race, it seemed like, in the bag. We have some cautions come out that kind of shake things up. They don't pit when everyone else behind him pits, including a Marcus Ericsson that took his space cadet training test, whatever.
I don't know how that didn't break the front suspension on that car. Like that is a well-built race car to be able to survive that.
Hey, good NC cars are good. Also, Jimmy Johnson, he didn't get to finish the race because they worked on the car under red, right? Is that?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. I saw everybody posting. They took the engine cover off to look at the engine or something, didn't they? Or
it was something like that, or there was some front wing stuff going on, like they were changing something out. I don't remember exactly.
If
what
it's
it
the
was.
engine cover, that's ticky tack. But if it's stuff, I see.
Yeah.
My dad kind of said this, and he made a good point. My understanding is if it was something like the engine cover, maybe they kind of had a feeling that they were done, and they were just seeing what they could do. And so it was like I have a feeling they wouldn't make that mistake if they didn't need to. You know?
That's fair.
Yeah.
But Marcus Ericsson wins his second race of the year on another grueling track. Whether you want to call it luck, like his Belle Isle win with Power's problems, or you want to call it a good drive, because I think it was a really good drive by him, right? He had to save fuel to get to the end, obviously had older tires and whatnot, did a really good job of kind of conserving his stuff, had to do that late race restart, which is never easy.
Yeah. And up until Herta crashed, I mean, Herta was hounding him. I mean, he had lost a little bit of ground, going for an overtake, but every time we saw Herta, I mean, it was so clear that he was just chomping at the bit to find an opportunity to get around him. I mean, he was so much faster. He did a good job defending, even though it's a narrow racetrack.
Yeah. Speaking of Will Power, though, the Penske guys didn't have a lot of fun.
I don't want to talk about it. But Pagenaud and Power.
I was gonna say, if you don't want to talk about that, we could talk about Watkins Glen, where there's more.
No. Let's talk about the Pagenaud and Power thing real quick, because it's a good transition into just real quick, because I know I don't have it in our notes, but it's now rumored that Pagenaud's leaving that 22. He's gonna go over to Shank, take over the 60, because Jack Harvey's leaving that team on his own accord. That's what it sounds like too. So have to think he's probably looking at an upgrade. Maybe in team. I don't know if it's Shank seems to be doing pretty good. Harvey's been top 5 most weeks until something goes wrong. The Penske did not have a good weekend. Scotty got involved in something. I mean, Newgarden crashed in qualifying, and that really set him back.
Yeah. Well, because you had the Power and Pagenaud incident, which was, I mean,
Will
Power went for a move, and then Pagenaud didn't know he was there.
To be fair, you kind of had to just make those stupid... I know.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, it was just the two of them came together. Yeah. And then Power got into McLaughlin also, and that's what spun him around. So it was a lot of friendly fire with the Penske guys this week.
And I want to go back a little bit to talking about, Nashville was marketed as a marquee event, and we look at the race, and it was kind of a mess. They kind of got it together at the end, but they also wrecked half the cars. Anyway, my point being in Nashville, being in the town, I can say with certainty, I mean, the whole city was buzzing. The city was excited. It was a really heavy atmosphere. You could feel it. You could feel that it was special. You could feel that it was a lot of anticipation. Everyone wanted to be there. It was exciting. It's not something that I had felt before at a race, and albeit I've never been to any of the big, races. I as close as I am to Daytona, I've never been to a 500. I've never been to any of those races. So maybe it's something that I just am not used to feeling. But it was a different feeling, and I think with maybe some track adjustments, maybe a little bit of an infrastructure workaround, maybe instead of just doing general admission tickets single day that just let you stand on grass, maybe give us some seats,
or let you bring chairs.
Because there were still seats left. I saw the 3-day passes. I checked the seats every single day. There were like plenty of seats left, and they just said, nope, we sell more tickets if you stand on the grass. And it's kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. If I wanted to stand on the grass, let me pay like $40. Because
how much did you end up? How much were the GA tickets?
85 before all the extra fees.
Yeah, that's a lot for not even getting a dedicated seat.
Do you know how much they are for Indy this weekend? For Saturday?
They're probably embarrassingly low.
35.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get to bring your own. You can bring a lawn chair to sit up on the viewing mounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do that, but
definitely seems like there were some teething issues with this whole first time thing.
Well, and it doesn't help that you're in the city, so like parking, I'm sure wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
Parking was $30.
Yeah, that's
because
not
it's
bad.
a parking garage. It's a parking garage in downtown. I'm sure the ones closer to the track were a little more.
Yeah, that's not bad, but that's still
It's not.
That's still when you're already paying $90 end up with fees and stuff closer to 100.
Yeah.
Was it north of 100? Okay. That's bad. That's pretty bad.
I like it. If I did it again, I would only go to the race if I knew something was going to change. Otherwise, go ahead.
I was going to say, if this was, say, like your second time going to an event, if this wasn't your first IndyCar race, would you have been disappointed with it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, immensely. I would have been really disappointed.
I was gonna say I saw a lot of people saying like positive things about it, but I feel like they were kind of in the camp where if they don't say positive things about it, they kind of look like morons.
And like I'm not trying to say like it.
Yeah,
it wasn't a negative experience. Honestly, if I were alone, I probably would have a lot nicer things to say about it because I would have just found a seat. But I brought people, and like I kind of expected us to not just have to stand the whole time.
I bet part of that too was because we had just gone to Charlotte a couple months ago, and like the whole Xfinity and truck experience, everything was really well laid out and organized, and everything was planned out super easy. And then so you're like, oh yeah, it will be like that. And then I don't think I think the organizers kind of did not bit off more than they could chew, but there were definitely a lot of unique problems with running a street course and setting up that sort of race, and I don't know if they were entirely prepared for it by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You compare it directly to any other race I've ever been to, and I've never had the problem of like, well, I guess we gotta just stand here forever.
Yeah.
Even on rain delays, like almost every track, like inside the stands, there's a place to sit or
When we went to the 500. And the 100th was 2016 or 17? 16.
16. I think that was the Rossi one, right?
Yeah, because I had my learner's permit. I didn't have my license yet. We had general admission for that one too, and it was probably the ticket prices I think were 60, 80, somewhere in that range. But Indy 500, that's the biggest race in all of motorsports. But like we didn't have seats or anything, but again, Indy lets you bring in lawn chairs. You can bring umbrellas, which was really cool. I'm assuming you definitely weren't allowed to do that. So that's frustrating because like Belle Isle, I know if you have general admission, they let you bring chairs usually. If you're kind of on the grass.
I didn't see anyone with a chair, and I'm gonna be honest, chair wouldn't have done you any good because you couldn't see.
That's true.
You had to be on your tippy toes to see anything. So
the point being, though, if you're not given that option, that's a failure on them because then they're not providing you. That is the number one thing you can do wrong. You're hosting a new event. There's two things. The first thing is traffic and not actually getting people to the gate. We saw that with Kentucky in 20. That's that's the worst problem because you're not even getting people in. Second issue though is once you get people in, they grow cranky. They grow, and it can't have anything to do with the weather because you can't control that. That's not your fault, and most logical people will agree with that. But when it's something like that where they're not giving you some of these things that like you kind of come to expect going to a motorsports event in 2021, whether it be like more picnic tables or stuff like that, that's frustrating. But I'm glad it was a good time.
It was, and they did take care of other things. Maybe so much to the extent that they kind of forgot about other stuff. I mean, the concessions. There was like a line probably like a quarter of a mile long, like 3 different concession lines, like not like lines of people. I mean like lines of tents of like food and drink, and then. God, I probably like 300 porta johns. I swear, 300 porta johns in 2 different locations. It was insane. Like it was totally great. It was awesome. Maybe like 200 porta johns
and some tables,
and then maybe like 10 tents over here, 10 tents over here, 10 tents over here, and then like some seats.
Yeah.
Maybe some like really crappy bleachers that you rolled in from like your local high school that don't have anything but just a place to sit. You know, I would have loved that. It would have been great. It would have made my friends really happy to not have to sit on the concrete next to the Tennessee Titans Stadium.
Hey, that's fair. But let's move on because we saw NASCAR road course racing. Let's keep it Cup centric. Ty Gibbs won the Xfinity race. I don't say anything else about that. That was a pretty good race, but
I'm gonna be very clear. I didn't get a chance to watch any of these. Had no shot to watch any of these. I know the winner.
This is the segment where Davey's just gonna be probably a little bit quieter.
Sorry, boys.
Kyle Larson wins. I didn't like the race. Matt, did you get a chance to watch it? Like actually watch it?
I watched like the last half of it. I think I was busy. I can't remember what I did on Sunday. I know I was busy on Saturday, but it was all right. Like I would say the second half was definitely better, but
there wasn't one green flag pass for the lead on track outside of Brad Keselowski spinning himself out. Or
was there
stops.
Really?
I can't remember one.
Well, because Larson ran down Truex at the end of that race.
And then he passed him on pit road.
Did he really?
Yep.
I thought he passed him on the track.
He passed him coming to pit. He came to pit road, pulled up even to him, was more aggressive coming to all. His crew has been better all year. The Hendrick crews have been the best. They beat him out.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking about how there was another stop after that where they like gapped Truex or something, wasn't it? I think.
No.
Or was that the last stop?
That was the last
I don't know.
stop.
Maybe I'm just misremembering it. Okay. Well, I don't know.
So here's my thinking. Real quick, and we can blame a lot of things on stage breaks. We can blame, which is a very good point. Stage breaks don't work with road course racing. We've known that.
Yeah.
Watkins Glen isn't necessarily great as it once was, because more than any other road course, hear me out, dirty air is going to come into play. More than any other road course on the schedule. More than the Roval, that is hard oval. The carousel, you can see it through the carousel. A trailing car can't carry a run through there. He has to be very, very careful with how he gets his run through there. 6 and 7 is another point up the S's. You see guys, this trailing car loses a lot of time unless he's blatantly faster. Watkins Glen isn't as good as it once was. It's a little bit far, and that's probably something that's more so to do with the car than anything. Because the Xfinity race was miles better.
Yeah.
But the Xfinity race also had late race yellows. That's my entertainment factor too. I didn't think it was good. I didn't like it.
I paid attention. Like, it was kind of in the background as a lot of Cup races are for me. I was like, oh, whatever, it's a race. I'm not too bummed on it. And I'm a Kyle Larson fan, so it's like hard for me to complain about that. But yeah, it is interesting you mentioned that, because I can't think of the last time, like the last good Watkins Glen race I can think of was 2014. So I think it's just that was the Allmendinger Ambrose one. Yeah. I just don't think the Gen 6 like fits it very well, because when you mention it, like the majority of the track is the S's and the carousel, which are all off camber mid speed corners, which is terrible for dirty air. So I'm not really that surprised the Gen 6 doesn't work. That, and quick gripe, I hate how they've paved the runoff for the carousel, because it's just removed all the challenge of that corner. So you can just run it out basically onto the entrance of the boot, and just, I was like, oh, come on.
I kind of like it.
It's a cool camera angle. It's not
I kind of like
cool on TV, but like
I kind of like swinging out like monkey, like all the way to the left. Like it's kind of cool.
It is kind of, yeah. I'll say it is kind of funny because they're just gooning like crazy and just not even trying to stay on the track. But
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. Yeah.
Like I get it. I definitely get it though. I do. I am definitely a part of the contingent that's like, if you don't want to race there, put grass.
Yeah. Stop making road courses easy.
But yeah, like I get it. I do totally get it. If you don't want drivers to go there, put some grass there, man.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, but the grass rips the splitter off.
Who cares? Get the splitter off the car.
Don't go to the grass.
And if there was only a solution that we knew, but no, we won't do it because Dale Jr. said once valences would be bad, even though we've never tested them on Gen 6.
Yo, shout out to Dale Jr. at Texas that one time when his splitter ripped the front end of his car off and ruined Jimmy Johnson's day at Texas.
Yeah.
Didn't that throw like sod through the windshield? Wasn't that what it was?
It like straight up like cracked his windshield.
Yeah.
It didn't even bro, it crushed the whole front panel. The roof was like in, the windshield was in, the bars were like bent in.
It like dented the nose of the car too.
I'm pretty sure
they added a bar after that too.
A big piece of debris came through and smacked the front end of Jimmy's car. It totally ruined his day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it caved in like the left front corner of the nose, I'm pretty sure. And like if you watch the onboard, the two little aluminum braces that you can see that go under the windshield like cave in super hard when it gets hit by it. And I was like, that's just dirt.
Imagine if it was a brake rotor.
Oh yeah.
Oof! Ouch! Nah, that's not real though. That's not real.
Yeah.
Fake.
Never.
Fake.
Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell got sent to the rear. It's funny how cars that get sent to the rear always make their way back to the front. It's almost like the thing getting caught cheating with are not the worst things that are cheating on the car. I mean, this is a trend. We see this happen. Car goes to the rear, all of a sudden it's winning the race still. I think back to Jimmy Johnson, his last championship. It's not a knock on Jimmy. It's not a knock on Chad because you're playing the rules.
As a knock, baby.
Okay.
I don't take it as a knock, baby.
That's the one that sticks out to me in terms of with the current car. They had something with the C-post. They like kind of massaged it.
From what I heard, they were layering clear coat to make it so.
But listen, this is what they did. It was something. It was some panel, and from what I've heard, everyone in the garage area was like, yeah, that's not going to pass inspection. So they take it to inspection. They knew it wasn't going to pass. It doesn't pass the second time either. So they either caught something else or they caught the same thing. Because what you do is you it's like you're throwing a sacrifice to NASCAR. You're like, oh, you guys are really smart. Look, you caught us on that. Oh, shucks, you got us.
Well, so two things about that. One, that's why Hendrick used to. They don't really do it anymore. And RCR still does the designs that go up the A-pillar on their cars, is because they basically got caught layering extra clear coat and wraps on parts of the car. And NASCAR's like, you can't do that. So they just integrated it into the scheme. So they're like, oh, that's why it's there. And two, Chad Knaus talked about what you were just mentioning on the Dale Jr. download a while back. And Ray Evernham talks about that too, how I think it was 97 for the Daytona 500, how they very, very blatantly made the rear bumper illegal on Jeff Gordon's car. So NASCAR would be so distracted telling them to fix that they wouldn't even notice the trick suspension in the car.
Yep.
So like that's been a thing that's been happening.
They do that all the time.
But the problem is, right, now let's get to the problem. Hey, did you know Did you know that's what they were doing? Did you guys know that? Did NASCAR know that? Probably. But guess what? Yeah. Guess what the penalty is? Oh, your crew chief can't be at the racetrack. Oh no. Not like he's on the phone or digital radio or
all right, we're kicking you out. Here's your phone and your digital radio.
Yeah.
Don't talk to them. Darn it.
Honor system.
This is a punishment. You must make all your decisions from a room a mile away. We have set you back so far.
God.
But
Annoying.
So Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, they obviously get to the front. Chase, not quick enough to overcome his mistakes, although I did definitely put money on Chase Elliott with like 20 laps to go because he was catching Larson at like a second a lap at one point.
He was flying. If he didn't get caught up behind Truex, he probably wins that race.
If
or
he
at least gets to Larson.
I think if he gets there too, he moves. You have to at this point. You can't let Larson keep racking up those playoff points.
I think he's sick of finishing second to Larson too, because they finished 1-2 4 times this year, and 3 of them Larson's won.
Which is crazy that Larson's actually winning those head-to-heads.
And
1-2.
The only one that Chase won, if it went green to the end, Larson would have won that one too.
Yep.
So,
truth.
You're losing your status as number 1, Chase. You better step it up.
I think they're doing stuff with that 9 car this year. Go watch that Hendrick Motorsports video I did because there are some pretty good insights into Chase Elliott and why he has not been up to par with Larson this year. And it has a lot to do with 550 tracks, believe it or not. Chase Elliott is not good at 550 tracks. He hasn't been good at 550 tracks, just for anyone out there. But go watch the video. It talks all about that right here on the JTN YouTube. But the Larson Bell contact, last thing. Apparently Christopher Bell hasn't returned any Kyle Larson's calls. I don't know if Davey, if you've seen it, because this is something where I think
a couple clips.
We're gonna let Davey look it up.
Quick.
And
I saw like one clip, and it was not a good angle.
I don't. Oh, go ahead.
Let me for you because you're gonna have some Larson bias, which is fair.
Yeah,
completely fair. I'm not. As long as you acknowledge it.
Yeah,
that's all I care about. They come off a turn. Last turn 7, turn 11, whatever, however you count corners.
Numbers.
Bell has a pretty good, Larson has a pretty good run on Bell. Bell had a pretty good run on Truex. The lap before wasn't able to get it to work. So Larson now has a good run on Bell. Bell blocks him down to the inside wall, goes back up. Larson still has enough momentum, gets to his inside down into 1. They make contact. Bell goes around, ruins his race because there's no cautions for this entire race because they were trying to make sure they fit the race in their window. If I'm Christopher Bell, I'm mad. I don't think being mad and not answering phone calls is saying that you don't think you're at fault at all for the incident, though. Like, I think some people are trying to... Because he definitely hung close to him. But Larson wasn't making that corner.
Well, okay.
Larson wasn't making that corner with a car to his outside.
Couple points. One, Bell running him down to the inside wall was like 4 laps earlier.
Was it? I thought it was that lap.
No, it was Bell ran him all the way to the inside wall and Larson backed off and then he got a run again.
Still don't care.
And he does lock up a little bit, but when they make the contact, Larson's on the curb. So like he might not have made the corner, but Bell definitely didn't give him the room there. But at the same time, like, I feel like this is only really a thing because the two of them have such a history with each other, like, racing each other in sprint cars, like all throughout their careers and everything. So I feel like it wouldn't be that huge of a deal, but they already have past history. So yeah.
I've had my looks. I've looked at the replays. None of them were very good at all.
Yeah.
All very bad angles of this incident. I gotta say, this is one of those things. I'm gonna do the thing that I did with the Formula One, still with Lewis and Max. I'm gonna call it a racing incident, but I'm gonna say it's more Kyle's fault. You don't go down into a corner and lock it up that hard coming into your apex unless you know you've overcooked it.
Yeah.
He was on the curb. I get it, but hold on. Let me slow-mo it from where I'm at right now.
Who has positioning? Who is it the passing car's responsibility to make sure there isn't an incident?
Yeah, I'd say so. But here's the way that I would judge it is at the point of when they make contact, like Larson's as low down as he can go. Now, if he had blown the corner and just wiped out Bell and Bell gave him the room, I'd 100% put it on Larson. but Bell turned in like there was nobody there, in my opinion.
I don't think he quite did that because you can kind of tell that he wasn't going to turn in to the curb.
Yeah.
Like there was no way he was going to get to the curb.
Or
Bell was.
Maybe I shouldn't say he turned in like nobody was there, but he didn't. He definitely squeezed Larson.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't totally disagree. Kyle Larson, like I said, you don't lock up coming to the apex of the corner unless you know you overcooked it.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, after he makes the contact, comes up off the curb, like you would expect him to do, coming through, the end of your apex, coming to the exit of the corner. In Christopher Bell's situation, I fault Kyle Larson more for overcooking it and giving the appearance of, maybe making the corner. I'm not sure if I can really blame Christopher Bell for, instead of a car width and then she gave a car width instead and it didn't work out. You know?
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't know.
I want to make it clear also, I'm not
really fun.
Not trying to say that it 100% not Kyle Larson's fault. Like obviously he locked up and they made contact. So yeah. But I mean the fact that he's reached out and tried to call Bell or whatever, like it at least shows that he's like, yeah, it was a little bit my fault.
Yeah, see that's the other thing is I can kind of tell that Kyle feels more at fault for it than Christopher Bell does.
Yeah.
Albeit when you're in the situation that he's in, because Christopher Bell didn't make any erratic movements, didn't make any adjustments. He just kind of was taking the corner pretty smoothly. If he came down, he didn't come down like it wasn't like out of the blue. It was like, oh, Christopher Bell chops off Kyle Larson's nose. No, they just kind of like touched, and it just so happened to be, Christopher Bell's right rear quarter panel in the apex of one of the toughest corners in NASCAR, in my opinion. Turn one at the Glen, dude. We see so many issues there. Yeah, it's a racing incident, and I think fault maybe lies a little bit in Larson's direction, but I can't. I don't think it's like Kyle Larson should apologize. Like he messed up. Whatever.
Yeah. I'd say you're pretty spot on. I'd say I agree with that a lot. So, it is just funny though how it's like if it wasn't two guys who had history of running into each other at the Chili Bowl, this would not be a big deal because we see incidents like that all the time at Watkins Glen, like every year.
It probably happens at least once a race.
Yeah,
that exact kind of wreck.
Yeah,
and also, I won the race, and the other guy, I think, barely finished at the top 10. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. I think Christopher Bell ended up 7th.
Yeah, so
something like
that. Anyways, Kyle Larson wins at Watkins Glen, and you can be a winner too when you use code JTN at checkout at CircuitDiecast.com for free shipping on your order of $20 or more, folks. Circuit Diecast is your home for all of your racing memorabilia needs, especially diecast. This week, of course, our Circle B picks as we do every single week. My pick, they have a bunch of them, but Chase Elliott's 2021 NASCAR Playoff t-shirt, you can pre-order now, should be out here in the next couple of weeks to get ready for the playoffs here in 2021 for the defending series champion. You can now pre-order that. Link to this in our description. Matt, what'd you pick out?
I picked out the pre-order for Ross Chastain's Circle B Diecast watermelon truck that he was that I believe he ran at Nashville. Or sorry, not Nashville. Or did I get the track right? Can't remember. Anyway, it's got watermelons. It's got a watermelon playing guitar on it. It's pretty cool. I really like it. It's colorful. It's 1/24th, and it's available for pre-order right now.
Davey.
Oh, am I going now? Is it me?
Yep.
I got for pre-order Brad Keselowski's 2021 Freightliner E-Cascadia 164 NASCAR diecast. Pretty freaky deaky looking, if you ask me. I do love me some shapes and geometry on a race car. This one's blue and black. That's pretty cool. Pre-order it today with your code JTN to get your JTN shipping discount, free shipping, JTN shipping discount, free shipping. Maybe order another 164 for your free shipping, JTN order discount on Circle B Diecast discounts. JTN.
Remember, folks,
use code JTN.
Remember, folks, CircleBDiecast.com is your home for all of that racing. related needs. And as Davey continues to make fun of our business here at JTN,
I'm not making fun of the business.
I'm gonna keep going.
No, you're not.
Can use code JTN like it is right here on my hat. JTN
Wait,
at
me?
checkout.
I can do that?
You can, and you'll help
Oh my
support us here on
goodness.
JTN.
Matt, be
Wow.
careful. Joe will ignore you.
I'm literally inundated with diecasts now.
From one consumer product to another, the new NASCAR video game, NASCAR 21 Ignition, what a name. Very corny, but it works. Was revealed officially. We've been getting those screenshots of silent, quiet racetracks now for a couple weeks. List off some things here. Got them in my note sheet. So, big thing is there's going to be a free upgrade path to next gen for the game. There will be a next gen NASCAR Cup Series update with the game probably after the Daytona 500, I would assume. Since it is getting launched like 4 days before the championship race in October. Going to launch, of course, then on your current gen consoles, I guess, your PS4, Xbox One, and on Steam. You get 2 days early access with pre-order. In terms of content, up only. People are freaking out about that. A new and improved paint booth. That's good. You have a career mode, a race now, and an online mode. You don't have a season championship. I don't like that. I don't know if there's test sessions either. Another big thing, especially for leagues, no online private lobbies.
Good way to kill the replayability of your game.
That's something that I have a feeling will come down the line with updates to the game because there's no way they can.
Hope so.
But when you do go online, if you group up with your friends, you'll be in the same lobby, and you can also pick out your track types. So they have one that's like road courses and short tracks, and then another one that's super speedways and intermediates. Wonder why those are grouped together like that. And then DLC paint schemes, of course. Retails it's $59.99 USD for the standard. The DLC season pass is $29.99. That gives you the 3 DLC packs that'll come out. The Champions Edition, you get exclusive Bill Elliott, playable character, I guess. For $89.99, you also get all the DLC season pass. So literally, there is no difference.
Bill Elliott for Smash, by the way.
It's actually cheaper. Wait, real quick. It's actually cheaper to buy the standard edition of the game and the season DLC pass by 1 cent. And buying the Champions Edition that includes the season DLC pass and the Bill Elliott stuff. So if you're not a Bill Elliott fan,
Christ, dude,
you don't have to get the Champions Edition. And each DLC.
So essentially, Bill Elliott is worth 1 cent, is what they're saying.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, dude. Gotta be kidding me. They're just so close.
Here's the thing. The last couple Heat games have opened, retailed at $49.99 with more content.
Yeah.
Probably lesser physics, lesser racing from, if this is using the R Factor engine, and if they can implement it successfully, that's the part that scares me. So, let's talk about it. Because console NASCAR games have not been good for a while.
So, I've never played any of the NASCAR Heat games. I'm always tempted to buy one when I see one for like $10 at Best Buy, but I've never done it. I dislike AAA games like as an idea, and how it's like, yeah, you pay $60 and then we're going to make this overcomplicated chart of where there's different tiers instead of just the game. Like, the game hasn't even come out and they have season pass for DLC, and it's like, how do you even know it's going to be worth buying the season pass? What if the game sucks?
Yep.
Like, you're literally selling the cart before the horse, which is not a new thing in AAA games. I just want to say how stupid it is. I understand. I'm okay with them not having Truck and Xfinity because this is a first-time studio and a first-time game. I get that. Why is it $60? And why are you charging another $20 for... Sorry, $30 for DLC and $90 for a game that it's literally twice as much money for the Heat games for less content.
Well, the Heat games,
I know, obviously,
Real quick, the Heat games also the season pass was usually $30.
Oh, okay.
So
I've legit not bought a full price video game since 2012. So that's how much I know. But yeah, it's basically you're paying $100 for less features. And obviously they can still patch things in like the season mode, but the fact that that's not part of it, like I feel like that can't be that much to code. Just an option that just takes all the tracks and aligns them in an order and then keeps track of the points. Like you're already doing career mode, you can just strip that down. But it's just I want this to succeed because this developer, this publisher, they've announced all the plans of the games they're working on and all the different racing games. And I want that to succeed because I want that stuff to happen. And I don't, I'm not going to look at the trailer for this game because it's all pre-rendered stuff just to build hype. It's obviously not reflective of the gameplay. But it just it rubs me really the wrong way that it's this studio that's never even sold something and they're already trying to sell you basically another half-priced game with it for some skin, some PNGs that they're going to drop into the game files.
Yeah, there's a reason I've kind of just taken myself out of the loop of NASCAR console gaming. There's not been a lot of positivity around the scene for a hot minute. I can we can try and look at what's here instead of what's missing. Improve paint booth, that's pretty good. Go ahead, Joe. What you got?
I was just gonna say, you want to talk about in terms of what's here? You have 3 of your youngest drivers, like your young recognizable drivers on the cover, which I think is a big step up from Heat 5 had Tony Stewart on the cover. Chase
he was retired by then too, wasn't he?
Chase was on the cover of Heat 5, and then Heat 4 had Kevin Harvick on the cover. Heat 3 had the Hendrick guys on the cover. Heat 2 was Kyle Busch, and Heat 1 was Carl Edwards, or Heat Evolution, which that game is terrible, and we should never, talk about it ever again because it was bad.
It's pretty comical how bad those games are. I mean, they play like an indie game. Like they don't play like a big title.
So like Heat 3 was the best in terms of your jump from 3 was really great. The jump from 3 to 4 was decent, but it wasn't. And then Heat 4 to 5, 5 is just a reskin of 4. Like it is. There is nothing different about that game except I think they added you can make a championship season, but you can't actually make it. They're all predetermined, and you can't add your own tracks to it. You have to use their tracks. So the positive, but back to positives about this game. They're taking it slow in terms of development. The negative side to that is they're charging you for something that they're making it sound like they're taking it fast, right? $10 is a lot of money. And the only reason I'm okay with saying that the 60 is okay is if they do all this free content in terms of next gen update for the car and also to the next gen consoles. But if you're buying it on Steam, you're not getting the next gen console stuff.
So, just quick assumption. So I'm assuming what you mean by that is if you buy the PS4 version, you automatically get upgraded to the PS5. Okay,
if I'm understanding it correctly.
Because I know a lot of games that have come out recently have done that. Like Spider-Man Miles Morales did that.
Yeah, so, Madden, EA did it with Madden, which was shocking.
A rare customer-friendly move from EA.
2K didn't do it with 2K21. You had to buy like a special, or 2K20 or 2K, whatever the last one was, 21. You had to buy a special edition of it to get the upgrade to the next-gen console. So yeah, it's frustrating though when they're very much saying, "Hey, give us time," but they're also asking straight up full price for a game that they've been saying, "Hey, give us time."
Yeah, the
positives.
Other quick thing about it is like the next gen update doesn't excite me because I feel like it's still fundamentally going to be the same game. So I like progressions in games.
Right.
So no, I'm not trying to go all super nostalgia mode, but going back to say 06 Total Team Control, the old EA Sports ones, is you have so much to do in those games. So it's like, yeah, you can just race or you can do practice. Oh, you get bored of that? You can go do Thunder challenges, which is like recreate this iconic moment. Oh, you want to just do a season? There you go. Want to just do the chase? Boom, 10 race championship. You can customize it however you want. What 10 drivers do you want in there? Boom, there you go. Mike Bliss is in the chase now. You can do the whole career mode, which plays out over years. And then there's an incentive to play all this because you unlock things, which this is not a problem, or this is not exclusive to just this game. But like, it was like with this with all the Heat games, is it's like, you don't, like, the incentive to keep playing for me was, oh my god, I can unlock all these paint schemes. But now it's like, well, yeah, you can unlock them as long as you got, I can't find my wallet. I guess I can't unlock all those paint schemes. Never mind. There it is. Unless you got one of these. There you go. Now you can unlock all the paint schemes.
Quick, someone get the information.
Yeah. Joke's on you. The number's on the back.
Damn. Exactly it, right? Heat, they had the challenges in it, but they were 20 that shipped with the game, and you got the paint schemes you got were like race win edition. So like they had confetti, so they were kind of stupid.
Yeah, like what's even the point of that? Like race wins are cool as die casts, but like nobody wants to race the race win.
No one wants to race a car with
what
confetti
happens
on
when
it.
you lose? Then you're just sad and covered in confetti. It's like, it's like the college football thing where they dump the Gatorade on the guy and then they lose on a last second Hail Mary.
It's like the like something I think could maybe build incentive for racing and doing stuff. It's not like a career mode thing, but I love how the Formula One games have their like weekend challenges and like their races and stuff that they put on, like you know, maybe some sort of split system similar to iRacing that you can like a matchmaking type thing on a weekend, like, hey, at 9 p.m. Eastern on XYZ night, log on and get put in a race with people around your skill level, and if you win, you get a special this thing, whatever it is, you know.
So NASCAR Heat had like the monthly competitions, like leaderboards and stuff. But there was never a. I know what you're saying. There's never a function to like to group drivers based on their skills. So you weren't, you know, I'm not out there driving against a bunch of 5-year-olds. They're just gonna run around and wreck each other. I kind of have to hope that I get into the right lobby, that I pick the right lobby, and then by the time I have it, I didn't pick the right lobby. It's too late.
Yeah, I can probably count on 0 hands the amount of things the Heat games did right. So
nobody tell Davey that you can count up to 999 on one hand in American Sign Language.
Said 0 hands.
Oh, did you? Damn it.
I mean, I know, Joe, you have like, oh, well, they did this, and this was fun, and this was fun. Like, I get it. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, really, like...
I think that's an overreaction.
When I hit the pause button on a Heat game, it's like someone photoshopped the menu. Like, someone went in Photoshop in 10 minutes and created that menu for me.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of UI there.
None. There's none. There is none. There is none.
Yeah.
I think
and
for them,
look it up, Matthew.
Yeah.
It's like a little box.
Yeah, look up the Heat Evolution pause menu.
That's not fair. Not fair.
It's totally fair.
But they got better, and that's what you have to.
Did they get that much better
yes.
though? They I
mean,
okay, that's fantastic. But guess what? Something had to change, right? If they were really any better, if they were really that much better to like warrant an attaboy, good job, we would probably still be seeing those games made by those people. Just throwing it out there. Something we might not have had to change it. I'm just saying.
He goes a license. As Motorsports Games was still technically the publisher of Heat 5, maybe Heat 4.
I mean, this is absurd. I mean, I'm going to post this in our podcast Discord chat. I mean, that's ridiculous. That should not exist. That game was made pretty recently.
It's like a default Unity pause menu.
That is Nintendo 64
I mean,
levels of detail.
It was the Unity engine, so... So you're not wrong.
And like, okay, you know what? They had a career mode. Okay,
that's
cool.
Heat Evolution.
Yeah, I mean,
I look at the Heat games and I don't.
All you see
I
is
don't
Heat
feel compelled to.
Evolution.
I don't feel compelled. I never felt compelled to play a Heat game until you guys had them and I got it for free.
Yeah, that's the thing. The only thing is, like I've said, I've never even played one, and it feels bad because I've never heard any of my racing friends be like, "Yeah, you should get it." Everybody's like, "Oh, I mean, it's all right. It's not terrible. It's another Heat game." So, I guess the best way to describe them is just incredibly not special.
Yeah,
is what I've heard.
That's fair.
So, and to lend the new game credit, the F1 games, because Davey was mentioning them, like 2014, they basically rebooted them, and 2014 and 2015 were barren for content. And then over the course of the years, they've built the career mode of that to where it's a full-fledged RPG now, basically. And F1 racing is the setting for it. So hopefully that's what they can do. But this first game on paper is not looking promising. But if the driving model is solid and there's a good idea there, then I feel like it can be a good basis for a future game to be good.
Yeah, I remember when the F1 games, and it was 2015 where they made the big physics switch.
Yeah,
I remember like thinking, man, this drives pretty good, but this game sucks.
There's just
still.
nothing to do in it. Yeah.
Yeah, this game sucks. Like it drives great, but this game sucks. And so I mean, hopefully we kind of go the way, because now the F1 games are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes the way of that. I know I just said what you said. Little anecdote there. Little anecdotal podcast story for the podcast listeners on the podcast,
Yep. Hope for the best, right? That's all you can do at this point with it. Coming out.
Joe, how are you sick of us? It feels like you're sick of us.
I don't want to I don't want to be too like downer about a game that hasn't come out and we haven't actually seen any gameplay of.
I wasn't being. I said the paint booth was good. I was going to go on to the physics. I'm pretty excited about the physics.
I will say quickly though, when we were talking about how things can be patched in, so obviously how there's only just like the random lobby setup, you can't do private lobbies or whatever. That's a problem because games that are online, if their online's broken at launch, that can kill a game. And even if they patch stuff in later, it doesn't matter.
What are you upset about? I was genuinely saying good things.
I'm just tired. I called the Bomb Squad at Indy, which was a fantastic race. You should go watch it. Fuel mileage. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. It's been a long time.
Are you tired of us, Joe?
No, I'm not tired of
you. Joe, I missed you, right? I missed you.
I missed this last week.
I wish I was. I was so busy last week. I
was mad at you though.
Really?
Yeah.
I was so busy. I'll tell Savannah that you are mad that I should have missed her birthday festivities to be on the podcast. That's what I'll say.
Here's the thing. I've learned that it's okay to be mad at people and also understand that they have other priorities. That's a big thing for me. Okay? That it's okay to be mad at them, but also understand that they have priorities that are a lot greater than you. So it wasn't. You know what I'm saying, Davey?
Joe, it wasn't that I had priorities that were greater than you. It's just that I feel like I want my girlfriend to like me. And
that's what I'm saying. That's a priority greater.
If I didn't do like birthday stuff with her, I probably would have like been killed by her.
Yeah.
And her friend, who is also my friend.
Perfectly fine.
See, yeah, Joe. The thing is you already unconditionally love Davey. He's still not saying that your girlfriend doesn't unconditionally love you.
She does.
Yeah.
But I would rather not test it.
Yeah. It's a lot more ramifications if that goes wrong.
Yeah.
So
I had a trip with Nashville coming up. You think I was about to test it then? No. Come on. Had a 9-hour drive.
No. I was gonna say, hey, let's do the podcast while you're driving. But I was gonna.
If you would have asked, if you would have asked, I would have asked if it was okay.
Yeah, no, I know.
But you didn't ask.
I didn't. You're right.
So,
I thought it was a dumb idea.
Whose fault is that?
Mine. It is. It's.
I think it would have been. It would have been fun. It would have been interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. Always my fault.
I would have been like. I don't. It would have been funny if I was driving at the time we did it, because we got to swap back and forth a little bit.
Are we gonna have to do a JTN live if we all end up going to Charlotte next year?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Please, Joe. Please, Joe. Please, Joe. Please,
We
please,
do,
Joe. Please, Joe. Joe, please come to Charlotte, please.
Maybe.
Please, Joe. Please, please come to Charlotte. Come on.
We have
please,
like
Joe.
we have everyone just sitting around us. We're just in a room. They're just like in a circle around
They
us,
could-
like
it
a
could be the
fishbowl.
audience.
Yeah,
We
they're
could
the
have a
studio
freak-
audience.
We could have a studio audience.
We could take questions from them, and they'll be like, "Hi, my name's Austin. I'm a big fan of the show. Been a listener for a while. I was wondering if you."
Where's Bristol?
No, it would be, hey, my name's Austin. I have a question, V, and we would kick him out.
No, Austin would just stutter indefinitely and never get his question out because he doesn't.
And
know
then
how
he
to
would do
speak.
his ZZ Top Squidward laugh.
All right, before we make anyone angry at us, let's talk about Indy. This weekend's the Indy double. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait to go back to
I'm excited for you, Joe.
Yeah,
excited.
It's gonna be fun.
Real quick, because we're at an hour right now. Let's talk about the Cup Series leaving the Oval. There's been a lot of discussion, debate about losing a crown jewel event. There's a case that you can make for staying on the Oval. There's a case that you can make for going to the road course, the Roval, whatever you want to call it. It's a road course. It sucks in terms of NASCAR was the only other sanctioning body that was ever given the opportunity to race on the Indianapolis Motorway, on the Oval, on the most well-known, historic, all of these prestigious racetracks in the world, not just in the States, but in the world. And because you have events like 2008, where Goodyear messed up.
Yeah.
No one, NASCAR messed up, COT, Indy. No, Goodyear messed up. That this has to fall because they didn't test.
It wasn't even the only time that year that Goodyear messed up.
They didn't test. They physically did not go to the track with a COT and test. Like, why do you think we have tire tests like we do now?
Yep.
That we have to go to this road course because, and Goodyear still fails. Look at that hit Denny Hamlin took last year.
Yeah.
Going into turn 1 because the tire went on him. Because we have to use this ridiculous downforce package. At a track that shouldn't have it for safety's sake, not for competition's sake, but safety's sake. I hate that we lost the Oval. I'm excited to watch the road course because it will be a better race in terms of action. But I just watched a great online race on the Oval with NASCAR, so like I don't know. I'm sad.
From a racing historian standpoint, it bums me out that we're basically losing the Brickyard 400. But as a basic race fan, I'm not bummed out at all because that track raced like dang butt with Cup cars on it.
Yeah.
Actually, just with stock cars in general on it. So
it's the car, it's not the track.
Yeah, it's not built for NASCAR. So
yeah, I gotta agree with you guys. I am sad we're losing it because, the driver said it was special, and so I'm willing to believe them. I'm willing to believe them that it was a special race for them to win. I you can go neither here nor there with the whole we should listen to drivers about racing. We should listen to drivers about if the racing is exciting or if a track's good. But if the drivers are telling you that a track is special, I think we can listen to them on that. I mean, if it means something to them, it means something to them. That's just how it is. And so I am a little sad that we are losing that small, tiny aspect. But you never know. I really liked the Xfinity Series race here last year. I thought it was really good. I think the Cup race is going to be phenomenal. I think the Xfinity race is going to be phenomenal. I like this track with stock cars. Just kind of works somehow. Seemingly, you never know. If the race is good enough and it has some holding power and the race stays around and it remains untouched, it could kind of maybe come back to that, marquee event type deal because we're still at the Brickyard. It's not the Oval, but we're still at the Brickyard. It become a big deal.
F1 sold themselves on we're racing at Indy when they were the ones running the road course. So there's still definitely some prestige to it.
Yeah.
So
still the same yard of bricks.
Yep. Yeah.
What do you think, Joe? What's on your mind?
I don't know. yeah, it's still the same yard of bricks, but it's not the same racetrack.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, I get that. It will take time. It would take time to build that back, but yeah.
Yeah, there's another thing. I think this becomes the most prestigious road course race we do, though.
Oh yeah.
Because it's Indy.
That's yeah, I think you're right.
Watkins Glen isn't really prestigious. Sonoma doesn't feel prestigious.
I think Watkins Glen is up there.
I don't think it's prestigious. I think it, except I win at Watkins Glen. I don't think it's any more important than winning at Dover.
I was gonna say Dover too. Oh my god.
Really? Yeah. Watkins Glen has some history behind it. I'm surprised by that actually. I hold a slightly different opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do have a slightly different opinion with with F1s racing there in the 70s and 60s and all that fun stuff. That's interesting.
I get that point. I don't think it's close though to Indy.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that and just thinking of visually, that fantastic camera shot from the infield of the the leader coming down, and then they cross the start finish line and there's hundreds of thousands of people. That's such an iconic visual aspect of NASCAR that we're losing from this, unfortunately. Because now they're going at about half the speed the other way.
the scoring pylons in the way of the camera. Yeah. But it's gonna be a good race. I mean, it's gonna be good. And I saw people saying, "Well, you can't switch the track between the oval and the road course," and they literally did it last year. I was like, "Y'all are dumb." IndyCar is the first race up on Saturday. So we're gonna start making our picks now. I'm gonna go first because I want to pick this guy. Romain Grosjean's gonna win number one. He was so strong here at Indy in the spring, in May. I think he can get it done because he's got some good momentum. As he's been in the car the last couple races now. So yeah, Romain Grosjean.
Gotcha. You go next.
I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna go with Colton Herta because he was really strong this week, and I feel like he's been one of the better drivers this season. So something's got to work out for Andretti eventually. So.
Davey, do you want to pick Rinus VK?
Nope, I'm going to pick Jimmy Johnson.
Okay. I hope he does good. I have a feeling this should be his best event. Since this is
you want to know?
Second time
you
want
to know what was going? You want to know what was going through my mind when you guys were picking?
Mm-hmm.
What?
So in the timeline right now, I'm reenacting my thoughts as Joe's about to pick. All right, I think I'm going to pick Grosjean. Oh, okay. All right, I think we'll go Herta then. He'll continue. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Third stream.
And then I pick Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. Xfinity, Davey, we'll go reverse order. You can go first on this one. Xfinity's at 4:30 on Saturday.
I don't want to pick. Can I hold on? Let me pull up the. I'm gonna not pull up the entry list. You guys don't need to vamp at all for me.
Do you guys want to take some guys out of it? Do you want to say no Dinger, no Cindric, no?
I was gonna say I don't want.
That is why I'm looking.
No Gibbs, no Cindric, no Dinger, no Gibbs. Is that who you're gonna pick?
I'm gonna go with my man Ryan Eversley in the number 6 JD Motorsports car.
It's a good thing we don't keep track of these picks and there's not standings of it. It's just for fun because Davey would probably not be doing too hot.
Are you kidding me?
Picking Parker Kligerman every week in the trucks.
Yeah.
A little bit. Ryan Eversley.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Michael Annett because he almost won at Road America with a broken leg. So, and I feel like he's run pretty well on road courses, and I just want to manifest some. Actually, now that I mentioned that, he's gonna wreck. But still, Michael Annett's my pick. I'm not crazy, I promise.
I'm gonna take Daniel Hemrick.
God,
dude, come on! I was like, maybe he'll follow our tracks, Matt, and go Andy Lally. Didn't do it at all.
Or even just don't pick Hemrick one time, so maybe we can see if you're reverse jinxing him.
No, because
he definitely is.
When I didn't pick him at Atlanta, we saw what happened.
Well, at least that was the closest he's gotten.
That's true. That's true. Then I'll go Allgaier. Allgaier then. Justin Allgaier. I'll manifest some bad juju for him.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Andy Lally.
Yeah, no, he'll probably finish top 5.
Yeah,
I love it.
What car is he in?
He's in this BJ McLeod car.
Okay.
78.
Max Pappas, get well soon.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Shame.
Cup Series Sunday. Matt, you go first. No Larson, no Chase.
God, you guys are
just taking away.
I want to say bad words.
No Truex. Let's see. Can I think of a 5th to take out of it?
You guys are bad words.
Can't think of a 5th to take out of it.
This is some dang butt, Joe. This is some damn butt.
You at least get to pick.
A lot of darn.
Dude, I don't know. Give me Bowman. Screw it. Actually, no, that's a terrible pick. Bowman sucks on road courses. What am I doing?
Actually gotten better this year.
He's literally only good at the Roval.
That's not a bad one to be good at. To be fair.
Give me Byron.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. He's really good at finishing exactly 4th. So.
He's really good on the road courses, like sneakily. Track attack. Yeah. Davey, go ahead.
Pace Briscoe.
Oh, I forgot about Briscoe.
Yeah, that's how it was.
I know it was. That's why I said it. Now pick James Davison, you slag.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, this is Quinn Half's week.
Cody Ware. Yeah. Get that extra.
Do you know he watches anime?
No, he's gonna get that extra IndyCar seat time, and then translate it over the Cup car. I'm pretty sure he's doing the double, right?
Yeah, I'll finish 32nd this week instead of 35th.
Wait, Cody Ware watches anime?
No, but all seriousness, AJ Allmendinger. You left that one for me.
He's not gonna win.
No, he's not. Cindric won't either, but they'll both be quick.
Right.
But folks, that's gonna conclude this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast.
Again. I saw Cody Ware up close. You know, I saw him up close, and he does look like he watches anime.
I just realized something though.
What?
We didn't even talk about the truck race.
Who cares? Parker Kligerman got 5th. He got free. He got everyone $1 hoodies.
John Hunter Nemechek did the sponge on a restart.
Got everyone $1 hoodies.
And just hung a hard right and dumped a bunch of people. And my man Austin Hill won. So
Parker was quite fast.
Johnny Sauter didn't make the playoffs.
Hello.
Yeah, that was like an important race, and we didn't even mention it. The playoff field set.
That's because the truck series has been an afterthought.
Grant Onfongle got jobbed. So
real quick.
Put Finglonger in the playoffs.
Here we go. And Finger's in technically on. He would be in on points. So the 98 truck's in on points into the owners playoff for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw people saying, "Oh, let him in. He's in on points." The rule does state that you're not in, even if you're in on points. You have to attempt every race. It's not that you have to qualify. You have to attempt.
Yeah.
So he should have threw together a random entry to try to attempt road course.
Well, he tried.
That's true.
Because he found out in January that he wasn't running full time from ThorSport.
That's true. ThorSport ThorSport fumbled the bag there with not putting Sauter, which I don't good, but Sauter should have been the guy going part time for Eckes because Sauter's production has since his last championship has dipped very steeply.
That and he just seems toxic. Like that whole team seems toxic, but like Sauter just seems like a head case over the radio. I don't know why you'd want to keep working with that guy.
I have a feeling he's not going to be there after this.
Yeah.
But then again, he's survived now. Enfinger, who just came off of his best year.
Yeah. Anyway, justice for Grant Onfongle. All right.
But that concludes this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast. If you want to find out more from us here, again, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube. You're following us on your podcast platform. Head on over to Johto Network on Twitter, at Johto Network on TikTok. We might be posting stuff on Twitter and TikTok this weekend because we're going to be in Indy. So, hey, maybe not. You never know. But also
I'll never tell.
Johto Network on Facebook. Liking those pages, following whatever. Does a lot to help support us, as always, especially. But the most important thing is to always make sure you're subscribed right here on YouTube if you're watching the video, or you follow us on your podcast platform. I think you can also leave us reviews. I don't know how to see them, but you can leave them. and maybe we'll like them, maybe we'll see them. Tell us what we can do better. But Davey, where can they find more from you?
You can find more from me on Twitter at Davey Hazard, on Instagram at D7H5, and on Twitch at D7H5er. I got my computer finally fixed. It's actually fixed. It's for real fixed.
Ayo.
I'm going to be streaming some Rocket League stuff soon, maybe some racing. I know USRL is doing some kart stuff, and it's in a setup Corsa. Maybe I'll stream some of that. But yeah, that is where you can find more about me.
You can find me on Twitter at msteelman51. I'm also on YouTube, Dale Jr. 88 Rocks, and also we plugged it a few times, and I remembered, and it just went live when we recorded this. So yesterday, if you're watching this, the time it came out. But Dave, I don't know why you're so excited. Oof Sides is back for season 2. We just recorded our first part of our off-season roundup. It was a good time. There's surprisingly not an argument about Tom Brady. So if you like football and you want to listen to us be idiots, come check that out. Unironically speaking, I really like how this week's episode turned out. It was really funny. Yeah, so Oof Sides, that's back. And I might have some stuff on my channel. I have a couple video ideas that are floating around in my head that I kind of want to make. Yeah, so.
That does it for
Nice.
us here on the Fake Racers podcast. Again, make sure you go check out the GT on YouTube. That's the most important thing. Don't look at any of those two losers things. You probably skipped through that last minute and a half, so I'm back here just trying to catch you up at the end.
Dale Jr. Rocks isn't making a Makita Truck Series Season 3. Why would you even subscribe? So.
What the heck? Why would people want to see what I have to say?
They do.
I had a lot of good Nashville content.
You did.
All
He's
right.
posted pictures. Go check those out.
I posted some pictures.
Some videos.
Pretty good.
You screaming at Jimmy Johnson that he's your hero.
Yeah.
I did do that. That was
I got choked up watching that.
That was a good video.
You did?
Like legit, yeah.
That was adorable.
Oh, my mom did too.
I was like, oh, that's adorable.
It was incredibly nice. Savannah did too. She was behind me. She got kind of emotional because I was freaking out.
Oh.
Happened totally by chance. We showed up, walked in. We were trying to find like a place to land, and like Sam pointed out, like, are those drivers? And Savannah was like, yep, those are drivers. I sprinted. I ran as fast as I could. I'm like, I'm seeing them today. I don't care. I'm seeing them. Because I still haven't like had like that whole like, hey, can I take a picture? I have never had that. I have not. I don't get passes. I don't have money for hot passes. I've never acquired any. I've never had anything like that ever. I've never had a chance to do anything like that. So if I was gonna get something, and we didn't get there in time to like go to the Carvana tent or anything early. Got there in time for driver intros. Ran to the road where all the trucks were lined up. I'm like, this looks like a good spot. I wait there for a little bit. I see James Hinchcliffe and all these IndyCar drivers, all of them in their 5'6" selves, and then Alexander Rossi's really tall. And then I see the blue suit off in the distance. I'm like, oh my god, he's coming. Which way is he going? And he walks straight towards me. It was so freaking cool. I was so freaking happy. I sounded like an absolute baby, but it was seriously. So he looked at me and he waved, and it was the best thing ever. I yelled that he was my hero like 3 times. It was awesome. I wouldn't trade it for the freaking world. The whole entire trip to Nashville was worth it just for that one moment. Seriously, I'll remember that for the rest of my life. It was awesome.
Nice.
There you go, folks. That was this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully earlier in the week, right here on JTN. Thanks so much for watching,
Thanks
folks.
for listening. And, yeah.
I don't know what to do with my arms.